Have you ever looked up at a bright blue sky or stared at a blank white wall, only to notice tiny, shadowy shapes drifting across your vision? Maybe they look like little threads, squiggly lines, or even transparent blobs. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to focus on them directly, and when you try to chase them with your eyes, they seem to dart away. These mysterious visual travelers are known as floaters, and while they might seem odd or even a little concerning, they're actually a perfectly normal part of how our eyes work. To understand where floaters come from, let's take a closer look at the structure of the human eye. Imagine your eye as a small, round room. The front of the room is covered by a clear window called the cornea, and just behind it sits the lens, which focuses light onto the back wall of the eye. The back wall itself is the retina, a thin layer of cells that captures light and sends signals to your brain, allowing you to see the world around you. But between the lens and the retina lies a vast, jelly-like substance called the vitreous humor. This clear gel fills most of the eye's interior and helps the eye maintain its round shape. When we're young, the vitreous humor is smooth and perfectly transparent. But as we age, this gel begins to slowly shrink and develop tiny clumps or strands of protein. These bits of debris cast shadows on the retina as light passes through the eye. And it's these shadows that we perceive as floaters. Because the floaters are suspended in the vitreous, they move as your eye moves, drifting gently when your eyes are still, and darting quickly when you try to look at them directly. Floaters come in many shapes and sizes. Some look like tiny dots, others like squiggly lines, cobwebs, or rings. They're most noticeable when you're looking at something bright and uniform, like a clear sky or a blank sheet of paper, because the contrast makes the shadows stand out more. For most people, floaters are harmless and simply a sign of the natural aging process. In fact, nearly everyone will experience floaters at some point in their lives. But why can't you ever seem to look directly at a floater? The answer lies in the way your eyes move. When you try to focus on a floater, your eye shifts, causing the vitreous humor to swirl and the floater to move out of your line of sight. It's like trying to catch a speck of dust floating in water. The more you chase it, the more it slips away. While floaters are usually nothing to worry about, there are times when they can signal a more serious problem. If you suddenly notice a dramatic increase in floaters, especially if they're accompanied by flashes of light or a shadow spreading across your vision, it could be a sign of retinal detachment, a condition where the retina pulls away from the back of the eye. This is a medical emergency and requires immediate attention to prevent permanent vision loss. So, the next time you catch a glimpse of those drifting shapes in your vision, remember that they're simply a natural part of your eye's inner workings. A reminder of the complex and fascinating machinery that lets you see the world. Most of the time, floaters are harmless and nothing to fear. But if you ever notice sudden changes or other unusual symptoms, don't hesitate to check in with an eye care professional. Our eyes are remarkable organs, constantly adapting and evolving as we move through life. Even the smallest details, like those floaty things you see, can tell us a story about how our bodies work. So, the next time you spot a floater, take a moment to marvel at the wonders of your own vision.